All right, guys, so I have used my Spot Up to raise my pH into the water. So like I was saying earlier, if your pH is not balanced properly, there's a lot of things that entails to that. But one of the key things is that if your pH is not balanced, then your sanitizer is not going to work properly. So I use chlorine in my hot tub. So I use a powdered chlorine, which is a sodium dichloride, and it's 97%. So it's pretty strong. I don't use a whole lot of it because it is super strong, and I really kind of cut back on how much I put in on a certain time. So I have an 8-foot hot tub. It's a Dynasty brand with a lounger. So it holds about 400 gallons, maybe a little bit more than that. But, you know, everybody's going to be different when it comes to how much sanitizer, how much shock, or how much Spot Up you're going to use. People hardly ever use the down to decrease it. You will every now and again, but you'll use probably more up than what you will anything. But everybody's going to be different on how much of this and shock and things like that you use. Everything goes based off of gallons and then usage. So depending on how much you're using it, if you're using it more, if you're using it less, that's all going to kind of play into how much shock and chlorine and all that you're going to use. Now, I have the ozone in my tub, so it's killing up to 87% of bacteria by itself. Right now, it has circulation pump, so it's constantly filtering, constantly keeping it crystal clear for me, even though I neglect it sometimes. I go a week without looking at it. But I added my Spot Up, so I'm going to add my chlorine now. Being about 400 gallons, I'm going to add about 2 ounces for now, just because I don't like overkilling it and then putting the cover on it, because like I was talking earlier, you have that airspace between the water level and the cover, and sometimes if you close it and you keep those gases in, that's what's going to destroy your cover, and that's what's going to make you go through covers and pillows and knobs and things like that all the time. With your chlorine, so basically your pumps on your hot tub, or your pump, when you put chemicals in it, you want to make sure it's on. So your jets are moving, your water's going crazy, you can sprinkle your chemical in there, whether it's a powder, and it will dissolve. So if you're just filling it up, usually you want to wait until the water gets a little warmer, because powder has a hard time dissolving in cold water, and it wants to coagulate rather than dissolve. So you want to get the water a little warmer before you add a powdered chemical into, you know, cold water. But my water is hot, it's at 102, ready for chemicals, it's ready for usage. So we're going to turn the jets on, we're going to add a little bit of chlorine into the water. Anytime you add chemicals into the water, you want to leave the cover off for at least 20 minutes. So most of the tub brands, when you turn the pumps on, they're going to run for about 20 minutes. Some brands out there run for about an hour. My brand runs for 20 minutes, and I timed that when I first got it. I turned on timer, and I, you know, watched how long it was before the pumps turned off, and it was about 19 minutes and some odd seconds, but I say 20. So I get in it, turn the pumps on, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like looking up at the sky and the stars, and I'm like, okay, and pumps turn off. I'm like, dang, it's already been 20 minutes. Okay, well, and I reach back up, turn the pumps back on, and it's going again. I'm relaxing a little bit longer, whether it's another 20, 40, 60 minutes, however long. Depends on the day, and you know how bad my feet hurt, because I don't wear the best of shoes. I'm walking on concrete all day. Anytime chemicals in the water, turn the jets on, and let the tub run for at least a cycle. So whether that's 20 minutes, or if your brand is one of the brands that runs for an hour, let it run for at least the cycle to kind of make sure that the chemicals are dissolved into the water, you know, chemicals, the molecules, gets in that total dissolved solids in the water and everything. So when you put the chemicals in and you turn the pumps on after the 20 minutes, you're more than welcome to close it back up. I would, if I'm using like Spot Up, Spot Down, Enzyme, anything like that, I would close the cover back up. But on chlorine, I usually, chlorine, or if you're using bromine shock, I usually leave the cover open just a little bit longer, just to make sure that the oxidation off of the main strong chemicals don't eat my cover and everything. So I want to try to help prolong the life of my cover as long as I can also. So we're gonna turn the jets on. We're gonna put chlorine in. We're gonna let it run about, you know, the 20 minutes. I'm gonna leave it open for a little bit longer than that. I'm probably gonna get in it tonight because I've missed it. I don't know why I always wait so long to get in it. Then I'm like, dang, I should have gotten this earlier. So let's turn the jets on. So this is my brand here. So you basically, mine is a touchscreen. It is backwards. I can't actually invert it so I can have it on a normal screen. And then from there, I'm just gonna hit the pump 1 button. So my pump 1 has 1 speed and 2 speed. And then my pump 2 is gonna have a high speed only. So you're gonna get the jets going real good. Make sure that the water's moving before you put chemicals in it. And then I usually just use the caps on my bottles. We do have these here. So these are little measuring cups that do up to 4 ounces. We do have these at the store. So if you want to come see me, I'd be more than happy to give you one of these. This helps measure out your chemicals. If you are not a cat person, I'm a cat person. I usually use my measuring cups on like my pool chemicals when I'm adding in like the algicide and things like that. So I'm just going to use a couple capfuls. This is about a 1/2 ounce on a cap, about a 1/2 ounce. And then on these caps, these are a little bit bigger. So these are about a 1 ounce cap. So 1 ounce and a 1/2 ounce. So rather than doing, I'm going to put 2 ounces in. So I'm going to do 4 1/2 caps, and that's going to give me 2 ounces. So when you're doing it, you're just going to kind of sprinkle it in the cap. You're just going to kind of throw it in the water. The lighting's not the best out here. I apologize. So let's see if we can get this light back. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. Fill your cap up and just kind of sprinkle it in the water. So that was 2, 3, 4. No certain way it goes in, just kind of sprinkle it in there. Now, anytime that you add the chlorine, or even shock sometimes will do it, it'll get a little foamy on you sometimes, and that is okay. So that is basically the chlorine getting in, killing the bacteria, kind of bringing it all to the surface. So I can either get it around the side, or most of the time the filters will catch it. So this is just another video on me taking care of mine. I will kind of get started on videos on kind of certain topics as far as, you know, like what pH is and what pH does, what alkalinity is, and what calcium is, and all the good things. And we're going to get into accessories and lifters and ozone and all kinds of good stuff. So make sure you stay tuned, put like and subscribe. I've already seen, I've got, I think, 1 subscriber and a few likes and a few videos in there, a few views. So it's pretty exciting. So we're going to keep on going and see what we can create. Okay, bye.